It's artistic.
He is artistic.
So,
you know, he used to be a civil servant. Can you believe that? He worked for the Ministry of
Good for
Defence.
you.
Yes, he Ministry
did you
of Defence.
convert him?
I didn't want him converted. I wanted a steady income, but look what happened. Hello there. How are you, ladies and gentlemen and creatures of the internet world? It's me, Lynn Ferguson, and this is 20 minutes till pick up, and you'll see we're out of the studio. Well, I'm out of the studio. You can't see her yet, but you will in a minute. So I'm out of the studio. I actually am in LA because people didn't believe that I was, and so I really am. And I'm going to introduce you to my co-host. And it was really important, I'll tell you this, it's really important for me to come out to LA this week and outside because my co-host is from Glasgow. Well, you're not from Glasgow though, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you are from Glasgow?
Yeah.
Because you're from Glasgow, and so I just figured, like, if the two of us were talking together, you just think we were at Millport or something like that. So, Santa Monica Pier in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my co-host, clairvoyant and psychic, Margaret Solis.
Hi Lynn, how are you?
I'm good. I've got a question to ask you, right? I don't know if you can predict this, but as you're a clairvoyant and psychic, do you know if my podcast, this episode of my podcast is going to get any better than it normally is?
This is going to go through the roof, Lynn, because I'm in it.
Have you seen any of the podcasts
Oh, I
already?
think they're hilarious.
Yeah,
I love them. I love
That's
them.
magic. So how long have I known you? Maybe like 30 years?
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
30 years, and I'm
Way
only
back in the
27.
clubs in Glasgow.
I know, God, a long
Great,
time ago.
weren't they?
Do you know, I think you are, in fact, I'm not even thinking you are, you're definitely the first psychic I've had on the show. I laughingly call it a show. The first psychic I've had on
a show.
Do you think it's a show?
Yeah, it's definitely a show.
See, that's why Margaret's my friend, because she's supportive. I'm sorry I've got sunglasses on as well, by the way. It's just
we'll
like,
take them off.
watch
and
this.
There's a kind of a glare.
It's the sun.
So
Our
we'll put
Scottish
them back
skin isn't used to it. We're melting. So I want to ask you, because it's kind of a weird profession to find yourself in. Do you know what I think?
Yeah.
I mean, even from your side.
Well, I kind of fought it for years.
Oh, you did?
Yes. My first recollection was when I was 3, and I was talking to a woman in the room, and my mother came in and said, who are you speaking to? And I said, well, do you not know it's your mother? And she said, well, why is it my mother? How do you know it's my mother? And I said, well, she's sitting in a special chair, Mum, with wheels. Well, my grandmother died in a wheelchair 2 years before I was born. So from there, it's just, you just get things, and what happens is you just deny them and think you never saw things, and it goes on and on and on. The next episode was when I was 9, and I came in from school one day, and my mother came to the door, and I thought her hands were covered in blood, and she said, no, it's soap suds, I'm washing the dishes. I says, oh, I think you've cut your hand, they're all in blood. So she says, you're fine, because obviously she knew what I was seeing something. And exactly a week later, she opened the door exactly the same day. Her hands were covered in blood. She just delivered a baby up the close.
Oh, wow.
And
I might have to take my glasses off for that. That's mental. Do you know what I mean?
I said, Mum, that's what I saw last week. She said, go and get changed and go out to play and don't tell your dad. Because then, way back.
That's mental. Do you think that she had it as well?
Oh yeah, she they come from the Black Isle,
right,
in a place called Och, Avoch.
Wow.
And my grandmother had the gift of second sight, my great-grandmother had the gift of second sight, and my mother, and then me. And I'm not the 7th child of a 7th child, I'm the first child of a 3rd child, which makes it, that blows that out of the water.
Well, there's a whole load of stuff said about it. You see, the thing with me is, I don't really understand it, but I don't poo-poo it, because, like, I don't understand quantum physics, right?
Yeah, that's right.
No, I don't. But I don't understand quantum physics, but I don't say that it's rubbish because I don't understand it. If I'm dead honest, it frightens me a wee bit. Does it frighten?
Oh yeah,
Does it frighten you?
Me. Well, each client that comes in, you don't know what you're going to see.
Oh God.
Because everybody's different, you know, and there's people that come in and say, don't tell me anything bad, and I just say, well, you need to go, because I actually don't know what I'm going to see before I kind of start.
Yeah.
And if the one thing that people don't like to hear about is death.
No.
So the first thing I say is, we're all going to die. I mean, we've all got an entry date and we've all got an exit date. We just don't know when it is, except sometimes I know.
Yeah.
And that person, I think, when you have that person in front of you, if you're allowed to know when someone's going to pass, that's privileged information as far as I'm concerned. Because sometimes I might go and say it and it gets taken away, so they're not to know. So everybody's kind of protected, and you won't hear anything that you can't handle.
Yeah. That scares. Do you know what? It scares the bejesus out of me. It does, and I don't think
scares the bejesus out of me.
Well, no, do you know? Because I would think, right, like, because a lot of people go, "Oh, I wish I was psychic" and all that stuff. But
no,
they usually
you wouldn't wish it.
No, because then you must get it. One, because I'm guessing that you don't have a choice as to who you're psychic about, right?
No.
And so that means that it might be somebody that you really hate, and you don't want to know you don't want to be involved with them. Do you know what I mean? And then it could be the reverse of that. Could be that it's somebody you really love.
Yeah.
Do you know? Have you ever had it about like your family or anything?
A bit.
Oh, that's freaky. And also, like years ago, you can guess that this is one of my pet things. I mean, because I am really intrigued by it. Because why? I'm intrigued by it because I like the idea that, like, people explore space and all that, and they understand that there's things out there that you don't understand yet. And I really like the idea about thinking about things that are much bigger than your brain can comprehend. And I have to say that this sort of falls in that category for me.
Yeah, it's like people who think outside the box and invent things, but only this isn't invention. It's like some kind of information that comes in and you speak it out.
Yeah.
I mean, when I start, I can hear names, places, I see places, pain, names, spirit, countries, past, present and future. Sometimes I get pain. I mean, somebody said to me one day, were you working hard today, Margaret? I said, yeah. I had 3 cerebral hemorrhages, 2 heart attacks and 5 cesareans. It's like, what's happening to my body? You can actually feel those things from the person that's come in.
No way.
Or the people that have come in. So it's quite, you get...
But is that not also quite frightening? Because what people say about psychics, if we're honest, right, people say, like, you know who didn't do, and I hope she wasn't a client of yours, but who didn't do psychics very sort of good publicity was Lady Diana, Princess Diana, right? Because she sort of epitomised that thing that damaged people go to psychics when they're damaged, and then the psychics manipulate them. That's what
that's
people
funny,
play,
Lynn,
right?
because the year that I did the Sunday Mail when our good friend Erlinda died, remember Rita?
She was lovely.
She was amazing.
She was a Scottish astrologer. Was she an astrologer, would you say?
No, she was more psychic, but she knew astrology.
Yeah.
She knew astrology.
And she was like a proper Scottish personality, Darlinda. Yeah. Just a really kind person.
Lovely person.
Yeah.
She, when she died, they asked me to take over the Sunday Mail, which is a famous Glasgow newspaper, as you know.
Yeah.
And every week I did a personality. I did Diana.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh.
What, did her cards and all that?
I didn't do her. I thought about her and I did a psychic reading over her. And you can look it up. I think it was 1996, the Sunday Mail. I think she's a Cancerian. So it would be July. And I said that the paparazzi were getting too close for comfort. There was danger.
Wow.
And that's how she got killed.
Oh, wow.
Because I couldn't say she was going to die. Because they wouldn't let me.
That's crazy. But did you know she was going to die?
I knew that.
Oh, man. That's horrible. What about things like, can you predict disasters and stuff like that? Do you get that stuff?
Well, I was doing you know Margaret Ann Docherty from Radio Clyde?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I was doing an interview with her and all of a sudden I said, I can see a big, huge plane over Scotland crashing.
No.
And that was
Dunblane.
Lockerbie.
Yeah.
Lockerbie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Dunblane was the other.
Yeah,
Dunblane was that
Dunblane was
guy.
the other
Lockerbie.
one, yeah.
Oh.
Lockerbie and the Piper Alpha.
Jesus.
I actually read a woman before that happened, and she said, you talked about my husband, and I was 6 months pregnant, and then I was 6 months pregnant, and then you never said anything about him. And he died when I was 6 months pregnant.
Oh, man.
And seemingly there was a big legal issue about the explosions. And I said there was 3 explosions, but the people who were investigating said there was 1. But all the people who were involved in the actual, the explosions said there was 3.
Yeah.
He died in the second explosion. That's how much I could tell that girl. And it brought great comfort to her, I must say, because he was smiling and he saw his baby from spirit. I mean, a lot of people don't believe in that, but if I don't see them, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. So what do you see as a... I'm glad we're outside, actually. Do you know what I mean?
Bit of air.
No, No, do you know what it is? Is that
Who's that behind you, Lynn?
Do you know the inner studio? Oh man, what we should have done, an inner studio, right? We have this studio in our house, right? And we bought this house, and it used to belong to people who ran a drag queen bar. This is true, by the way. This is true. So people who run a drag...
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so the upstairs of the house where we put the studio had a stage and everything. It's got a dressing room. It's got the whole thing going on.
Sits you down there at tea.
What are you trying to say?
Oh.
You saying I'm a drag queen?
No.
Anyway. But the people who've stayed upstairs have said that there's a ghost upstairs. And it's quite a classy...
Is a man, obviously, right? But does he never come downstairs?
No. Quite a classy ghost, because that's supposedly will only take, he took somebody's Hermes scarf and hid it, and then so we never really know what to think, because I don't want to think there's a ghost in my house, even if it is an awesome drag queen ghost.
If there's a ghost in any house and you don't want the ghost to be there, usually by saying the Lord's Prayer or your own mantra kind of thing, and you clap your hands 3 times and you disperse the energy.
Oh, really?
If you go into a room and clap your hands 3 times, it does disperse energy. So you say go to the light and let them find their way back if they're annoying you.
But is that not? Would they not be offended and then come back?
No, they wouldn't. No ghost is going to harm anybody.
Do ghosts actually get offended? Do you know that? That's a kind of weird thing.
So. I feel that when people go into spirit, they go back to being the pure soul of love.
Yeah.
Right now there's different levels of spirit, and there's 7 colours of there's 7 colours of the rainbow, and there's 7 those colours are linked to spirit.
Right.
Alright, so we're talking rapists, murderers, they're on the low level. They still need to learn, and there'll be people there, other spirit guides there to help them to understand what they've done and obviously elevate them eventually. And then there's people that go straight in, good people, and they're always... I'm not frightened to death, because I know I've seen my grandfather, I've seen my grandmother, I've seen my brother's face. 2011 wasn't a good year. I lost my sister on the 7th of January. I lost my brother on the 17th.
Jesus.
And they're both younger than me. And the day after my brother's funeral, his face came in. And I was still crying. You wake up crying when you're so sad. And said, what is it? We said, get checked. And that morning, the postcard for the mammogram came through. And I knew that something wasn't right.
Oh, Matt.
And I went for the mammogram 2 weeks later, and they discovered I had breast cancer.
Jeez.
But it was only very, very small. And I thought, my God, if that had been the month before, that I was 17 days and 17 nights with my brother, I wouldn't have went.
Yeah.
But it so happens, see, everything happens for a reason. Well, I went in on April the 4th and got the lump removed. 4 weeks later, I was doing the 5K for breast care. 4 weeks later, I was in the SECC, you know, in Glasgow, doing a big show with the Girls' Day Out show. And then about 6 weeks after that, I was doing the radiotherapy for 3 weeks. And it's helped me to understand how other people feel. So there's not a lot that I have not been through.
Yeah.
That kind of enables you.
So that if you've got to give somebody bad news or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But
what do you feel happens? I mean, like, because if you say everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that it gives you a bigger perspective on... I mean, I suppose you've only been you, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing with all of us. We've only ever been ourselves. Mm-hmm. So it's difficult to work out. I know, it gets to your eyes, doesn't it? The light gets to your eyes too much.
Come to the light.
Too much. Yes, I work through the light, Lynn. I do not work through the darkness. There's no darkness in my room.
But do you think that, does it give you a bigger perspective on... I mean, for example, I wonder sometimes whether, you know... Like, because I know that, you know, I do have spirituality, I do believe in spirits and all that
Everybody
stuff.
does. Yeah. Everybody has
Even people when they lie.
Yeah.
You know, or and some people, you know, people who are very against it, fair enough. But I do, you know, I mean, like my youngest son, he was born an old man.
Yeah.
Right? Like he
the old soul.
Yeah, he just totally, and then I'm like, do you think people come back? Do you think they just get regenerated or what
Usually it's unusual for people to come back while there's still people of that person still living.
Right.
Because usually they wait till everybody that you've known passes. But occasionally, like I've said to a girl, I was doing the Hilton in Glasgow, and I said to this girl, I said, you're going to have a little boy and he's exactly the same as your brother. In fact, I think your brother's coming back through you, and he's got red hair, the same as your brother, and he's got a wee mark behind his ear.
And she
had the wee boy, yeah.
Oh my God.
But the mother, everybody was so overjoyed, but she says I was terrified, but she said, you can't believe how much joy that little boy's brought everybody. Because we know
that there's something
there back, you know. I think it's wonderful. I think life's amazing, and everybody should grab it with two hands and make the most of it. I mean, you've got to think of the people who accidentally die or they're in like the big plane crashes and all that. They had plans, Lynn.
Yeah.
Right? We've all got plans for tomorrow. Live today.
Yeah.
You know? This is the moment. That's why we're on the beach.
That's why we're on the beach.
What's the silliest thing? Sorry,
See, like this is a guy, right? So there you go. This is for you, ladies and gentlemen and creatures of
I need to tell you the story. Right, I'm in the Hilton in Glasgow, and I've got a great audience, and I'm on for about an hour and a half, and I ask people to come up onto the stage. After a couple of glasses of wine, they're fine.
Yeah.
You know. The shy people just go, can I come up first? So there's a kind of scramble to the stage, and this young guy comes up. He's about 25, 26, outdoors, 6'4". All the girls are like that. There's hardly any guys at these things, you see. So he comes up, and as he's walking up, before I even lift the cars, I say, excuse me, I said, do you work on the roads? He went, yeah, I work on the roads, like tarn macadam and fixing all the roads, and you could hear a couple of the people going, oh, wait a minute. I mean, he looks like outdoor, he's weather beaten, you know, he's got a tan. Nobody in Glasgow's got a tan unless they work outside. So I said, excuse me, ladies, but I could have said, you know, he was a brickie or something like that, but I saw him on the roads. So I lay my cards out, and I tell him to pick 2 cards, and as he's picking 2 cards, I haven't turned them yet, I said to him, you're kind of at a crossroads just now. He said, no. He says, I'm working at the top of a hill. It was so
magic.
That is practical. Anyway, that's the laugh. The next part was, he turned the card, and I said, oh my goodness, what happened to that boy's neck? And I was going, my neck's not here. I said, Jamie, he burst out crying. He said, my friend got decapitated on his motorbike 2 weeks ago. That's why I'm here, Margaret.
Oh my God.
And you've just told me his name's Jamie. And I was really emotional because I thought, my God, in front of all these people, and that's just came in, and all of a sudden I'm getting handed the football scarf for Hearts football team scarf. How I know it's Hearts, I don't know, because I'm a Rangers supporter.
Don't say that. That'll get people crazy. There's only one in the world. There's even less of them than there are psychics, Margaret.
No. So I said, I'm getting handed a scarf. It's a Heart scarf. The poor wee boy went, his mother gave me it this morning, Margaret.
Aww.
I says, oh, that's really good. He stood up and he gave me the biggest hug.
Did you cry?
I cried. He cried. The whole of the audience was crying after the laugh. But you see, it was like that. That's the way life is, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. You know, like, especially here, I do think with LA, I mean, it's fascinating. You should come over here and read. I tell you should. Because over
I've
here...
been invited, you know, to come. And I do come practically every year, and I see friends, and I help out some friends. But obviously you need...
get yourself a visa, man.
I'll get my visa.
Get a visa and come over here. Because I'm telling you, we've got 1 minute left. Because in Scotland, what's your waiting list? It's like 2 months or something,
Yeah,
isn't it?
2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months before you can see it in Scotland, and there's not that many people there.
Longer when she comes for holidays.
Longer.
Yeah. Add on an extra month now. I'm probably booked up to January by the time I go back. You know, like that. No more. But I love my work. I must admit. I know you love your work,
I do.
and you know I love watching you.
Oh, you do?
And, I do. I think you're the funniest person on the planet.
Oh, bless you.
And people that make people laugh, I think, or comfort people, or you can't be goody two shoes every day, because you've got to have a mood now and again.
You hear that,
Mark? And an attitude. If you've not
now and again.
Now and again.
Now and again.
Lynn, behave yourself. But you know, you've got to have your attitude, and I think Glaswegians in general are the kindest, most loving people. Although American, I love America. I love coming here.
Come here and work. Get a visa and come and work. Where can people get in touch with you if they want to get in touch with you?
They can get in touch at info@margaretsolis.com.
And Solis is you'll be
SOLIS.
Oh, that's 20 minutes.
That's 20 minutes.
Right, I'm going to go get my cards done. See ya. Bye. So, if you want to ask a question, I can't guarantee we'll answer it, but I'll try. You could tweet me a question at Lynn Fairgate, or you can make a comment if you're watching this on the video. And you know what would be awesome? Can you share this? Thanks. All right. See you later.